But again, my name is Eric Auger, and with American Business Systems, and I'll be one of your co-hosts this afternoon on talking with you how to start a healthcare business with a seven-figure potential. Folks, the clock has turned for American Business Systems. We have gone from 25 to 26 years, so we've just now celebrating our 26th anniversary. It's amazing that really about 4.5, actually less than that, 3.5 more years, we'll be celebrating 30 years in business. So folks, if you're looking for something that has some stability and longevity, obviously being around here for 26 plus years is a good start to kind of be looking at here. Again, for those that are still coming on in, my name is Eric Auger. Again, I do several different things here. One of the things I love to do is work with you after you become a licensee. Not only do I get to work with you beforehand on some of these webinars and do some interviews with people and answer your questions, but once you become a licensee, then you kind of roll over into another world of where I kind of live, and that's the area of MIRMA. And I do a lot of research and development there. I do a lot of education there. I work with our licensees on some webinars that are what we call them kind of done for you webinars. So you invite your potential doctors and office managers to, and I do the presentation. I talk to them about what your business does and some of the things there and what some of the services you can add to them to help them grow the revenue. So obviously, in order to help you grow your revenue. We just started that this last year. We're actually in the second month, and we're about to do our third or fourth one here in another month or two. So we're excited about what we're doing with our licensees, and again, doing things that a lot of other companies just don't do. Obviously, before you become a licensee, you want to go check us out. Go check us out at the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating. If you go look out over in your control panel, you'll look down at the very bottom. You'll see a place over there that says handouts. You're actually going to see 3 handouts this afternoon. How to start a healthcare business with potential 7-figure income. That's the one that we've got right there. That's a PDF. You can download that. The other one is why doctors should outsource their billing. So you go check that out. That's an article. And an iClaim walkthrough. So if you want to kind of take a look at that, just kind of have something in front of you, you can go do that as well. So go check that out. Now, my co-host, who is not only the co-host, but the founder and the CEO of American Business Systems, is Patrick Phillips. He is a writer. He has written several books. He's in the process of working with Dr. Wagner on another book that should be coming out very soon. And he is a contributing author to the BC Advantage magazine, which this magazine goes out to all different types of medical billing companies, not just those that are American Business Systems. So Patrick, without any further ado, hopefully you're going to join us this afternoon via the webinar video, and you're unmuted, right?
Yes, and I'm live.
There you are.
I know sometimes I don't look like I'm alive, but I am. This is live here today. Yeah, well, this is going to be a good one, Eric, because as you know, we do have licensees who've reached a 7-figure revenue in this business. So we want to share a little bit about that. I'll play a clip from one of the interviews that I've done with one of those people today. And we'll also, of course, look at the facts as to how they get to that figure.
You bet. Let me see if I can get that started here for us to watch.
Now, Laura, give us a feel for how you started. First of all, well, let's do this. Let's just begin with where you're at right now. Tell us about your business, how big it is, how many clients you have, how many staff you have, and how much money you're going to send me each month.
I mean, yeah, right. Well, that last question is nothing. But yeah, to get into the grind of the day-to-day business, we currently right now are doing the outsource billing for about 12 practices, and we actually, which is really exciting, have 4 proposals out on the table right now. The one proposal is actually in the final phases of, we're just waiting to kind of get all the contractual things in place and then get started with them. We range anywhere from primary care to, we've got behavioral health clinics, we've got therapy clinics, we've got DME companies, we've got an ortho clinic. We actually do some toxicology and pathology lab for some of our physician offices as well. I mean, so we have a broad spectrum of the different types of clients that we have. Some of them being, very small practices, and other ones being large ones. We, have a clinic that has 13 physicians in it, so it's a big daddy. But then we have, a DME company that, is pretty small. But we now have grown. We have 8 staff members, which is really exciting. But over the last year, we've grown a lot with a lot of our clients, and it's been an exciting year for us. It's even more exciting that 100% of those referrals have been from physicians that we currently do billing for. So once you get out there and once you get started, and once you make a name for yourself and you treat your clients well, it's really exciting when you get a referral, that another physician has given for you, to have another new client. So like I said, it's grown really fast, and it's been really exciting. And people question, all the changes with insurance, things changing, and does that affect you? And no, it doesn't at all. Actually, everybody still needs care, and primary care physicians and all types of practices aren't seeing a dip in their in their clients as well either.
Patrick,
Yes.
do you happen to have her new list of all the doctors that she's doing billing for? Because I took down that she's got 12 practices. One of them has 13 doctors in it. And I know that you sent me a list yesterday to kind of looking over hers.
Well, when you were looking down, writing that note, I had edited into the video on the screen there that they currently have over 30 practices, Eric. So when I did that interview, that's been a year and a half, 2 years ago, they've grown since then. And they told us specifically the other day that they had gotten to a 1.1 million in revenue.
Yes.
And so for any company that's only been in business for 2 or 3 years to get to that point that fast, that's the ideal. And of course, she has 8 people working for her, but they work from their home. They don't have an office. She works from her home. They love this business, as you can imagine. To make that kind of revenue working from home is just very unusual, of course.
Very, very unusual. And I tell you, they've done an incredible job of getting that done. But the folks today on the webinar, they're going to want to know, is there a potential for myself? Or if I'm sitting on the other side of the webinar today, what is that opportunity that we could look at? I'd like to throw up a few things here on the slides. First of all, we're going to go to an article that, again, it was a fairly recent article. And I think you sent this to me, and I just wanted to put that up there today. And it talks about, for many physicians, part of their current collective disillusionment with medicine is financials. Instead of enjoying potentials that they have, they tussle with the phone and professionals, payment deniers, and insurance companies, and watches their money slip away to pay off massive student loans, licensure fees, and malpractice insurance. So is there a need? The need is there. And part of working denials, as we both know, that's what our licensees actually do. They go after, really, we say this, anybody can put in a claim and then maybe post the money that comes in. But when a claim comes back and something's denied, that's who is going to go after that money? Well, that's what we teach you and really work with you on, is go after the money that normally nobody else is going to go after.
Well, that's one of the neat things about our cloud-based software system. As you know, Eric, it has what's called Denial Defender built into it. So because we are the only company that I know of that has the integrated clearinghouse inside of our software, we can actually do that denial defending within the software before it actually gets to the insurance company.
Correct. Absolutely. Now, we have shown this particular graph many, many times, and a lot of people ask, how current is this? Well, first of all, let's look at this. This is big enough. Physicians and clinic services spending is currently $614 billion annually. So a lot of people ask, Eric, Patrick, does this number ever change? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we do have a new one. How about 3.82 trillion?
Yeah, it's just incredible how fast this industry has grown. And Eric, it's like 1/5 of the entire gross domestic product of the United States. So, folks, if you're thinking about getting into any industry, healthcare would be a good choice.
Yeah, you're talking, yes, you're absolutely right. So on this graph, folks, if you'll do nothing else, go to the handout, go over there, download the slides that we have today. At least you'll have a copy of this. And one of the things I want to point out there, Patrick, we can look at for the year of 2019, which we just came out of. It says here the U.S. Healthcare expenses categories by percentage over a spend are projected to be 32% on the hospital care, 26% on the professional services, 20% as physicians. And folks, you got to understand that 26.5% on professional services and physicians are actually somewhat a combined group of people that you are actually going to be billing for. So it's almost 46% right there of any. But the one I want to point out there is 3.7% is spending has to do with dentists. And I know that there are some companies out there that says, well, American business system doesn't file claims for dentists. Could there be a reason why we do that, Patrick?
Well, we've tried not to focus on that segment of the marketplace, Eric, because as you can see, it's a very small segment of it. And so we tell people, look, there's enough physicians out there for you to get all the business you want. And well, Laura, that you just heard from, she didn't have any dentists, and yet they're doing 1.1 million in revenue. So you don't need the dental field at all. Having said that, Eric, as you know, we've been researching that and are about to come up with a solution for licensees who want to go after the dental market. It's there, no denying it. And maybe you have a friend that is a dentist and you'd like to sign them up. So we're gonna make that possible as well. But for now, we tell people focus on the doctors. That's where the big money is.
And also, we want to show you that the growth is heading in the right direction. Again, folks, if you'll go down to the very bottom, you'll see a link down there so you can go source this out yourself and see that it's not American Business Systems throwing out these numbers out here. But in 2027, you can see the numbers between 2019 and 2027. Folks, for the next 7 years, all this is going to do is grow. So again, Patrick, since I've been with you for the last 12 years, all we've seen is a growth in going in the right direction for anybody that wants to get into healthcare. And especially
it's because we have a growing aging population. You know, the baby boomers are all retiring right now. They have to go to the doctor more often because more things go wrong, and they spend more money. And so that's why the growth rate, even for physicians there, as you saw, was over 50% within the next 7 years.
Yeah.
So it is huge. And of course, even this book here that we found, you can find this on any bookstore. This is by Entrepreneur Magazine, which has been around for 100 years and is a respected magazine. They publish a book called Start Your Own Medical Claims Billing Service that's based on this industry. And as you can see, they're saying the market for medical claim billers is growing exponentially.
Exponentially. And then you can see here with just this, that it's going to keep growing. So there's no signs of slowing down. And we put this up here and we've used this in the past. But again, I'm going to go back a couple of slides. This is our latest slides that we've got with any statistical data that is showing you where this market's going. So it truly is going in the direction that anybody that's looking to get started in any type of franchise like business opportunity, you're going to want to get in where there's growth. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be easy to get that, but there is such a huge potential. It gets better and a little bit easier as you kind of go through this. Patrick, obviously we're talking about 7-figure potential, and I know that since I've been with you, we have really shied away from talking about taking this out to a 7-figure. So what we're going to do is kind of see it from a 6-figure, because I think everybody can see that as a realistic position here. But I thought as we kind of go through this, we'd ask some questions. First of all, why would a doctor even want to outsource to me? What will I do to actually earn that living? And then how much can I earn in as a medical revenue manager? So I thought we would just start there. Is first of all, Patrick, why would a doctor even want to outsource to me? Don't they do their own billing already?
Oh yeah, probably half of all the doctors out there have their own staff. They have their own software. They have specific people who that's their job is to do the billing for that doctor's office. Now, the other half have decided that outsourcing is cheaper and more efficient and just better overall because they can collect more money. People who focus on that just have an incentive. These people have billers like these ladies here, but they don't have any incentive because the pay is the same no matter how much they collect for the doctor. With our licensees, since they get a percentage of all the money that's collected, then of course they have an incentive to make more. Eric, I'm hearing some sort of weird feedback on when I'm talking. Is that coming through on your end? Does it sound okay?
It sounds fine with me. I'm not getting any feedback. It's I don't know if it's coming through from my speakers, but I can certainly mute myself and see if that'll help whenever you talk.
Well, just lower the volume maybe. Well, in fact, Bobby on here has typed in a note, no volume. Now he may have fixed that by now because that was a couple of minutes ago, but I don't think anybody else is complaining about the volume. So, oh, okay. So Greg says he's hearing the feedback too. Yeah. Okay. Well, that may have solved it, Eric. Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see, if folks, if we have any technical difficulties and you can't hear us or you hear certain feedback, just let us know. We'll kind of see what we can do to kind of tackle that as we kind of go. Now, Patrick, let's kind of get back into this real quickly, and let's kind of do this analysis. Doctors doing in-house billing versus having it outsourced.
Yeah, and again, since Eric has printed these slides as a PDF over there in the handout section, folks, you can download this and look at this and study it more carefully. We won't go into detail on every one of the costs on here for a doctor, but as you can see in the left column there, this is what a doctor would spend doing the billing in-house. There are a lot of hidden costs people don't think about. Not just the cost of the staff's salary, but there's also a cost for taxes, insurance, training costs and all kinds of stuff in there. So bottom line is if they outsource this to you and you were only charging 6%, which most of our licensees, they'll charge anywhere from 6 to 8%. But if that minimal amount was paid, the doctor would only be paying you $31,000 a year, which again, for you is pretty good, as you'll see from our charts we're about to show here. Time-wise, you'll be making a lot of money per hour, and the doctor is going to spend a whole lot less by outsourcing to you. So it's just a win-win all around for everybody.
It is. It certainly is. And then you've got not only if they're doing in-house billing, folks, you got to understand that those folks are assigned other duties as well. If you're an employee with any company, you always know that you get assigned as others' duty as needed. And that's exactly what happens within a doctor's office. And then, Patrick, we both know that when you start processing claims, the insurance companies don't always like to play fair. They're going to find out some reason to deny a claim for whatever reason.
Yeah.
If that claim goes, that could just go into never land, and that doctor never get paid for the services that they've done. Where we stand out is we teach you and show you how to go after those claims that are either rejected or denied, getting that cash flow back to where that doctor needs. So imagine the time it takes for maybe you to be able to do that, but imagine that being a burden upon that staff there at the doctor's office. They never get to that. So that means thousands of dollars just go right outside the doctor's door every single day.
That's right. They never follow up on those claims. And because of the software that they're using probably is not checking it like ours does in real time through the clearinghouse, they're depending on a third-party clearinghouse, another company that they send the claims data to clear all those before they go to the insurance companies. And they don't. So a lot of those claims get rejected. And they're dealing with that all day long. Imagine seeing 20 or 30 patients today. A lot of those claims come back tomorrow, and tomorrow you've got another 20 or 30 new claims that you're filing. So again, those people just kind of shove those in the drawer and don't pay attention to them. You want to collect that money because, again, you get a percentage of all of it that's out there.
Greg is asking the question, is the average claim still sitting at $100? I think it's gone up from there. I mean, we're pretty much a cash pay family ourselves, and we know that it's usually going to be 125 to 150 pretty easily. And a cash pay is usually the discount just under what Medicare actually reimburses on some things. So whenever, Greg, we say $100 because it kind of averages out. We know that Medicare always pays less than what Blue Cross Blue Shield does versus what Aetna pays. So it's always going to be right about 100, but we could maybe bump it up to 125. But again, we kind of like to stick it right at 100 just because, it's kind of on the lower end. So hopefully that understands.
It just makes the math easier. That's all.
Yeah, it does. It certainly does. Now, the other thing is talking about claims that are rejected. And then just the pain, kind of going back to what Patrick had there, if you did the calculation of an office staff doing the billing, that doctor's basically spending about 24 cents plus on every bill that goes out there on administrative and billing expenses. So folks, if you just took the figure that Greg asked about at $100, 24 cents is 24%.
Right.
And so on every dollar that's wasted out there, that's a chunk of change. That would be $24 to get that claim out the door if you think about it.
Yeah, and you're only charging the doctor, 6 to 8%. So that's again a lot of savings there for the doctor. And most doctors recognize that. They just don't know who to trust out there to do their billing. We're going to show you how you can build that trust.
Yeah, you bet. Now, again, this is one of the folks that are out there that works with a lot of billing companies, a lot of doctors, and you can see right there at the middle part, it's not unusual to see very high, not unusual to see 35% or higher claim rejection rates. And again, out of that rejection rate, Patrick, I think we've only figured out and calculated that 50% of claims that are rejected really even get followed up on.
Yeah, that's right, at the most. Hey, that article, by the way, is one of the reprints in the handouts today. Why Doctors Should Outsource article, it's called. So be sure and download that and read that one carefully.
You bet. Now, why would a doctor outsource to you or out to me? I think it's because, Patrick, one of the things that we have solidly, before you tell a doctor how much you're going to charge them, what you can do, we have this thing called a practice analysis. We kind of look at this, folks, as the same thing if you go to the doctor's office and you say, hey, I want to see the doctor today, but before I see him or her, what are they going to charge me to see me? Where they're going to look at you, the gal at the front desk or the guy at the front desk is going to go, we don't know what's wrong with you. That's what this practice analysis is all about. Patrick, you want to talk about how important this practice analysis questionnaire is?
Yeah, folks, there's really nothing that you try to sell the doctors on. What you do is just find out from them, asking some questions that we've come up with here on this this practice analysis. You ask them what their situation is inside the office. And once you find that information out, then of course, we and our support people here at ABS can help you make a proposal back to that doctor's office, showing them how you can help them out. Part of that proposal comes with what's called a practice revenue report that you see there on the right that can bottom line show the doctor that you can increase their revenue. If you glance at the bottom line on this sample when we're showing here, it's $321,000 additional revenue for that doctor by outsourcing to you. And anyway, we go over this in detail, of course, in our training as to what this is all about, how you come up with the figures and so forth. It's a spreadsheet. Basically, we've already got the calculations in there. Just plug in the numbers that they give you, and it comes up with this report.
So again, this is all leading why a doctor will outsource to you. Again, because you've got to help them bring some discovery why they need you. You got to help them figure out that what they're doing currently is only wasting money, and then what you can do to help them increase that. And sometimes just getting the billing out of the office will automatically kind of start doing that. Now, what we want to talk to you is what will you be doing to help that doctor get there? And you're going to be using our system. Patrick, you've mentioned this already, that we have a cloud-based software that has several components to it. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so the iClaim software is what we call the practice management system. This is what holds all the data for doing the billing, of course, and you'll be using that on your computer. Again, it's cloud-based, so it doesn't matter what kind of computer. It literally can be the cheapest laptop you find out there. A Chromebook even would work, because all you do is just go into your browser and log into our system with our credentials that we give you, and all of a sudden you're there. So that iClaim system, of course, is being used for the billing, but the doctor on the right-hand side there is using what's called the electronic medical records. He and his staff can actually use that on an iPad or a computer to input data when they're seeing the patient. Once all that is in there, of course, then the doctor, of course, can basically send it through our system, through the clearinghouse. The patient portal is there if the doctor wants the patients to be able to get in and upload data and look at their records and so forth. It's all built in and all integrated in one combined system.
Yeah, and so folks, everything is there. You don't have to, we don't piece this together. What you need to do, if you're looking at other particular companies, you're going to find out that some companies may have just their software and then maybe piece certain things together. So like if I've got my practice management system that maybe we have built, I might need to find an electronic medical record system, and maybe we haven't built that. So I might need to build some plugins or whatever else that kind of go along with that. But that's not full integration, as you will see with the iClaim and the EMRX system, and especially with its own clearinghouse, because we are the clearinghouse. So if you haven't had an opportunity to see a demonstration of what we're talking about, get back with the rep that you're working with. They'll be happy to kind of take you on a tour, and you'll see that everything works together. And when we say works together, as Patrick said, you got a physician over here that's using an electronic medical records, which is our EMRX. And once that doctor gets through seeing their patient, it actually creates this electronic super bill with inside of it, which is then delivered to you to actually do the billing. So there's no paperwork involved. We have this paper here just kind of representing how it kind of electronically comes over to you, and then you process the claim and get it turned out, and then it goes out. And then again, if you got any fixing that you got to do with certain lines or whatever to fix certain denials or rejections, you're able to see it all in real time right in front of you. You don't have to wait, weeks to find out whether a claim has been accepted or rejected.
Yeah, and when we say real time, folks, it means that since you're connected through the internet to our system, everything you're seeing is up to date and accurate. Every time you log into our system, for example, there's no downloading and upgrading your software. It's all done in real time behind the scenes. So when you log in, you're looking at the latest version of the software always. There's no upgrades necessary, no new codes that you have to download from time to time, like with other systems. This is all in real time, and it is the future. All software will be software as a service, like ours is, in the cloud in the future, and lots of companies are moving that direction. Apple, Google, Amazon, yeah.
So let me take you on just a quick little tour. We've got some screenshots of the iClaim system. Now this is a screenshot demonstration, okay? That's all this is. But if you want to take a real-time look at what's going on, again, get with your rep that you're working with, and they will take you on a tour. And if they don't have the time or to do anything, just get in touch with us here. We'll figure out a way, whether it's Patrick or me or both, we'll do it ourselves. We'll help you to see that you can see this. But let me kind of take you on a quick little tour. Let's go, first of all, we've kind of semi-logged into the iClaim. We're going to go over here to billing. We're going to go to enter charges up over here, and that takes us over to this page. And what we're going to do, many times, the doctor has already put in the codes, because the code's already built in on the electronic medical record side. And so if the doctor says my patient has a cough, well, that automatically shows up on your side already for the billing. So you're not even having to code that. The doctor has that all coded. Then you can see right here that the doctor also has other codes, office visit, maybe an immunization, and then all of the fees are already calculated into the system already. So at that point, then you're just going to come down, scroll down, create the claim. And once you've hit create claim, it's off out of the system through our internal clearinghouse, and from there, it's actually being delivered directly to the payer, whether it's Blue Cross Blue Shield or Aetna or Medicare or Medicaid. It's all there, and it's all going to the right places.
I'm talking away here on mute. And because again, it's in real time, you're seeing that instantaneously, folks. The advantages of doing eligibility checking before the patient is seen means that the doctor is not going to waste time with a patient that they may not get paid on at all.
Yeah, and let's see, Robert, you got a question here. I'm going to see if I can understand it. Is there a way you can process the claim if the doctor has an EMR for the failed claims? Not sure. Let's see. Is there a way to process the failed claims if the doctor has an maybe if they have their own EMR? That's what you're asking. If if the doctors have a certain EMR system that they're pretty comfortable with, that can be tied into the iClaim system. But again, at that point, you kind of got some breakdown, and then there could be some. I don't know if it's our system. I don't know if it's the old EMR system that the doctor has. You know, the best thing to do is, if we can, and we'll help you with that. We'll help you close that deal, so to say, and getting that doctor out of that EMR system into our EMR system, because of how everything works together. And many times we can be able to do that for you. So that's part of what we do for you. Patrick, we've said about a demo for our these potential people that are looking. Let's talk really what we do on the backside as support. We do these demos for the doctors already.
Yeah, we do a live demo. It can be up to an hour in length sometimes with a doctor and their staff, so that we can show them every aspect of the system and let them ask all the questions they want. Now, you can be on that demo as well, watching it just like you are today on this webinar here live. At the same time, you'll be hearing the questions that the doctor's asking, the comments that they make about it, and there's nothing for you to do other than just have the paperwork ready if the doctor's ready to sign up and get started.
Yeah. So now we're moving to how much really can you make. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take this with one doctor, we're going to build it at 3 doctors, and then obviously at that point you can do the math. Go do the math on our website. Take those numbers.
You're paused.
Oh, am I paused there? How about now? There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, you can go check it out, and then you can see, use those same numbers that Laura Dean was giving you. If you can't remember, we'll kind of go through them again. Then you can go do your own calculations. So again, go to our website, go to the income potential, go to medical billing income calculator. Again, we're going to use one doctor, again, that sees 25 patients a day, open 5 days a week. Again, we're going to use what Greg said earlier. We kind of use the average of $100. We're going to submit that, and you'll see that one doctor can generate just right at $39,000 a year, servicing one doctor at $3,200 a month. Now, if you heard Laura, she says we've got one practice that has 13 doctors. So just take that 40,000 times 13. That's a pretty good chunk of change just with one of her clinics that she has.
Yeah, so let's show them exactly how you got to those numbers, Eric, and just walk us through every figure that we just saw there.
You bet. And folks, if you have any other questions, we're kind of monitoring the question box there, and we've got, just kind of let you know time-wise, we've got about 20 more minutes, and we want to make sure that we have plenty of time to answer any of your questions. So again, on average, a doctor is going to see roughly 20, 25 patients a day. You never know how many they're going to see. Some will see more on one day, less on another. Sometimes they're open 4.5 days, and they try to cram everything in Monday through Thursday to where they're seeing a few. But again, on average, they're seeing, again, 25 patients a day, which is, if you think about it, that's kind of generating about $2,500 per day average of what the doctor is bringing in there. So now we're going to take a look at that and how that works in your favor. So remember, you're processing $2,500 worth of claims every single day. Just think about that. And if you're billing at 6%, which is what we put in earlier, your average earnings on a per day basis, remember, for $2,500, you're processing that, you're going to be making $150 per day per doctor, with it taking you less than about 2 hours a day to process those claims. Patrick, even if we push it out to 2 hours, that's $75 an hour per day, working with one doctor. That, to me, that's motivation to get out there and go find that one doctor. That's pretty good money, wouldn't you say?
You bet. And as you'll see, when we start multiplying the number of doctors that you could sign up, it gets ridiculous. I mean, literally, you're making more money probably just sitting around in your pajamas than you could working 40 or 50, 60 hours a week for somebody else.
And then you take that 150, again, just times it all out, 5 days per week, that's $750 a week times 52, that's $39,000. So if you're wondering how those calculations behind the little curtain in the ABS world, how all that kind of gets to, those are the simple calculations there. You can do it yourself. You can just go use the calculator if you want to. But again, now let's take 3 doctors. Let's take those same 3 doctors, look at the same amount. The only thing that we're changing is the 3, like how many doctors you want to have as a client. Same numbers of everything else. Let's submit that. At that point, folks, you've just broken the 6-figure income. So Patrick, let's talk about the importance, really mentally, from getting to that number.
Well, for most people, that's kind of a mental goal. If they could get to $100,000 a year at any job, of course, they'd be thrilled with that. But like I said earlier, they're probably working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, lots of overtime, evenings, weekends, and so forth, lots of travel involved in that probably, because the average salary out there for the average American is $57,000 a year. So $100,000 is a good chunk of change. Well, doing this way, Eric, I think it boils down to where you might be putting in 6 hours a day,
right,
at this business to do that kind of volume. That's if you did all the work yourself. Now, as you heard from Laura, she had 8 full-time people working for her. So of course, she's not pocketing the entire 1.1 million herself. She's got to pay people to actually do the work. But believe me, she's got plenty left over to have a nice lifestyle.
You bet. And that's what everybody wants. And think of the gratification that you get whenever you've got people that you're employing with a good job and things that are going well there. And then again, the added bonus of, you keep going out there, you keep growing your business. It will certainly never get dull. Patrick, I had the opportunity again today to talk to one of our licensees that have been around with us for ever as I can remember, and that was with Corey Craig. And she says, Eric, I'd like to talk with you a little bit more, but I've got an appointment to go see some more doctors this afternoon. And Patrick, how long has Corey Craig been with us?
Oh, 13, 14 years. Yeah.
So, folks, I mean, people, once they get involved in this, it grows. It can continue to keep growing. And, that's what you want to be able to do. So, again, just as a quick reminder, you're going to be making, between $100,000 and $117,000. But now what we want to do is add a few of the other services. Because, Patrick, a lot of people usually ask, what about your other services that you have? I mean, how do those work inside of that? Because we have Code Writer, Choice Pay, iDocs Now, Quick Collect, Audit Guard, Compliancy Guard, all of these different services. Patrick, do I have to use all of these to get a client? Can I use some of these to get a client?
They're all optional. We came up with these because we literally had licensees coming to us with doctors asking, well, can you help with this or that? And so we found ways to provide those services for our licensees. So folks, you make money on all of these services. The real money, of course, is in the actual billing for the doctor, but there's money to be made in all of these, as you're about to see. So whether you want to offer them or not, that's always up to you.
Absolutely. And Patrick, let's just start off with this first one, Quick Collect. And you know that, gosh, we've got all these that give you as a potential licensee an opportunity just to get a dialogue down with the doctor. I've ran across a doctor's office here fairly locally to where we are. we're not doing their billing, but guess what they ask? Can you help with our collections? And you go, absolutely, we can do that. And
Yeah.
then just the opportunity that gives you as a potential licensee to win their business in small little chunks. And Patrick mentioned earlier how to build trust with people. Believe me, if you can help them collect money that they didn't think they could get,
Right.
you're building trust with that doctor.
Yeah, most people don't realize that doctors only collect about half of all the money that's billed to their patients. For various reasons, people just don't pay their medical bills. You may move yours to the bottom of the stack. Some people move it right on into the file 13. So they don't ever get paid. So doctors usually just write that off at the end of the year. But believe me, they would rather have that money, sometimes $50,000, $60,000 a year that they write off. They'd rather have that in their bank account. Well, this service is an automated system, online, automated totally. You're not doing anything manual. You're certainly not making phone calls to patients. There are letters that this system generates, goes out to the patients, but it collects about 3 times what an average collection agency would normally collect for the doctor. So it's a wonderful service. You make money on it. The doctor brings in more money you'd never see anyway. And it's just a win-win again for everybody.
It goes right along with Roshman in the question. We see the $150 a day profit that for the services for the medical billing. Can you make more with the additional services? And you can. So again, I've taken, let's just say again that you've won 3 accounts, got those 3 doctors, each with 24 accounts that need to be collected on. You're making about $7.50 per account on that. So again, that could add another $540 a month in residual income for you. That again, you're not doing anything. The system is going out. All you may be doing is adding new account patients to that might need some collections on. But again, that quick collect is there and it can kind of keep you.
Yeah, Eric, this is what I call mailbox money. You literally, once you get this set up for a doctor, you don't do anything. The system's doing all the work behind the scenes, bringing the money in for the doctor. And you're just earning that $6,480 in a year's time for going to the mailbox and collecting your check each month.
Absolutely. Then we've got Audit Guard. Audit Guard is another automated system. It's going to help the doctor help their patients, remind them to come to the office. We're right in the middle here in the beginning of the year for a lot of people getting their annual well visits in, their physicals in. And this is to remind them that you might need to be scheduled. It's time for you to come back in. You're going to make money on top of this. Again, we're going to take those same 3 doctors that may want to push out reminder cards to their folks. And it could be anything from birthdays to happy anniversary. I'm sure everybody's gotten something like that. I actually get them from my dentist. You get a birthday card from them, and that's automatically generated. But again, you got that could bring in another $600 a month, another $7,200 a year. Then you've got iDocs Now. iDocs Now is a secured, HIPAA compliant, secure place to keep all of your paper. Let me kind of say this, all of this kind of paper here with all this HIPAA stuff all over it in the cloud. Patrick, talk about that.
Eric, we use this ourselves in our office. Even though we're not in the medical billing industry, we don't compete with our licensees like some companies do out there. We basically have no paperwork. We don't have any files, no cabinets. All of this paper that does come in goes straight into this online storage cabinet that allows us to search those documents anytime we want to and find them in the future. It's a very great service that all doctors need. In fact, any company or industry out there that uses lots of paper needs this iDocs Now.
That's right. And each account will generate you, as you can see here, you're going to generate about $100 per doctor per month of getting those doctors put on there. Get that going. That's another $3,600 a year added on to everything else we've said. Then we're getting to the area that I think everybody's afraid of, and that is code, certified codes, these codes that we see. I'm not a coder. What am I going to do when the doctor says, do you know this code? Patrick, what are we going to do when we get hit up for codes?
Well, we have over 100 certified medical coders that are ready to help our licensees and their clients. with giving them the codes that they need to be using. Now, doctors are obviously using some code, or they couldn't bill at all for a procedure, but sometimes they're using the wrong code. They could be coding something that's over-coded, Eric, which puts them in trouble with the Medicare and gets them fined, or they could be undercoding, leaving money on the table. We go in with our Audit Guard and audit that the patient's records that are in the doctor's office and come up with a report showing them where they need to be.
Yeah. Yep. And then that can add another $10,000 a year, bringing that in for you. Then the code write works the same way. As the only difference is one is an audit that you can do and help them keep that doctor right where they need to be, where they're not overcoding or undercoding, losing money, or maybe money that they may get asked to pay back. And then you got code write. If you got maybe a surgeon that doesn't code and all you have are notes, and you want to get those notes actually coded, that's what code write's all about. And again, you're looking at 3 doctors with 400 reviews a month. They're about 50 cents that you're going to be making on top of that. You know, that's another $600 a month, $7,200 a year on top of that. So you take all of that and you add that already on top of what you're already doing for the billing. There's where you're getting into a pretty good cash flow. And again, that's with only 3 clients. Now, is every client going to do all of these things? Maybe not. No. But you will do billing for every one of those. And even with our business, or with Laura Dean's business, she's spaced out through there that some of these services she's using, some she's not, some they're combined with others. It's all over the map there, but this is at your disposal to make as much money as you can.
Yeah, so let's take that figure that we see there for 3 doctors. We came up with 117,000 in revenue. Yep. Folks, she has over 30 doctors, and so if you do the math, it comes out to again over $1 million in revenue. And this is just working, the business themselves. She and her husband are both full-time in it, but of course they have people that are working for them as well. So it's just a nice, comfortable place to be. Eric, if they wanted to, they could sell this business. It's a cash flow business for multiples of that 1.1 million, and walk away and buy that McDonald's they've always wanted to own.
Work, like you said, work with teenagers. Who didn't want to work with teenagers, right?
Right.
or old guys like you and me who don't want to do anything else but go work at McDonald's. So
I just want to greet people at Walmart. That's my goal.
Folks, we've kind of laid it out here. You obviously you see the easy potential. I say the easy potential to get out there and make a 6-figure income pretty quickly. And then, at another 6, you're at $250,000 already. So you can see how quickly this money will add up for you. And then obviously there are thresholds there where you got to go, gosh, where am I going to bring in new people? How am I going to hire new people? Again, we kind of help you with all of that information there.
You'll know. Laura, I asked Laura, I think on this interview, I asked Laura later, which we didn't play the whole thing, of course. That's out there on our YouTube channel, by the way. You can go watch the whole thing. But she said, well, I didn't know when to hire somebody, but at some point I knew when I needed to, because I was working too many hours, so.
Too many hours there. That is for sure. And obviously you're going to certainly know when you hit that mark. And obviously you want other people to be working with you and for you and all that. Patrick, I know you want to kind of give a little bit of extra time here this afternoon and for you to kind of talk with some of the folks and kind of go through maybe some steps of what they need to do. Let's kind of take that time. Let's talk first of all about the money back guarantee. Why don't you take a little bit of time and let people know how important this is in their decision making.
Yeah, folks, if you're looking at starting a business, you know that there's lots of opportunities out there, business opportunities as well as franchises. And the hard decision is making the decision as to which one's which, because once you've sent your money in, that's it. There's no getting your money back. So several years back, I sat down with our entire staff and I said, guys, if we have what we say we have and we really believe in our business, then let's give people the opportunity to get their money back if they don't agree with us. And so, you know, if you get into our business and decide this is just not what I thought it was going to be, even after you've gone through all of our training, seen all of our proprietary materials, that's okay. If you don't like it, you just tell us and we'll send you every penny of your money back. Eric, I don't know of any other company in this industry that can do that. If you are talking with any company, ask them if they have a money back guarantee. If they say no, ask them why.
Well, I'll even go further than that. They may have a money back guarantee, but when does that threshold quit? Folks, you got to understand ours is after you have gone through our training. Patrick, that I don't think we stress that enough.
No, you're right. Folks, we have over 15 hours of online training that's one-on-one with one of our instructors who's been certified to teach this course. And it covers everything you need to know to get your business up and running and get your first client as quickly as possible. But even after you've gone through the entire thing, if you still don't think this business is right for you, just ask for your money back. Now, how can we do that? Well, Eric, we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau here in Fort Worth. Right. That's because we do what we say we're going to do. And yes, we have given people their money back. It's very rare. Over the past 26 years, I can count them on one hand. And that just means that we do have what we say we have, or we couldn't afford to give that guarantee. So be sure and ask anybody that you're getting into business with about what can I do if I decide, you know, within 30 days, for example, that I've made a mistake. Can I get my money back?
Yeah. Let's go through what your next steps might want to be. And Patrick, you've got a 75-page research guide?
Yes, and this is a PDF booklet basically that we can send to you. But folks, we do ask that you get back with the person who sent you the email to this webinar, what we call your business development rep here at ABS. Just get back with that person and ask them, what do I need to do to get that research guide? I want to really get in depth in my due diligence, and we'll send that to you.
Yeah. And then you've already mentioned about the YouTube channel. We have literally hundreds, if not thousands of hours out there on the YouTube channel, whether we're interviewing licensees, whether we're doing what we're doing today, we're talking to you about success, maybe failures, about how to get involved in this business. Golly, we've done just about every topic known to man that we can think of. Folks, if there's a topic that you would like for us to bring out, please fill out the question in your question box and say, hey, I'd like to know a little bit more about this, or what about that? We'd love to hear back from you. Any feedback that we can get from you, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Eric, in fact, we set up a survey that they will get as soon as this is ending here in just a few minutes. They'll be able to take this quick little survey, take less than a minute to finish it, and you can tell us a little bit more about what you'd like to see. Then, of course, if you want to talk to some of our ABS licensees, like Laura Dean, we have licensees who volunteered to take calls from our licensees or people who are looking into the business. Just ask your ABS rep for that list also. We call it the owner reference list, and they'll send that to you as well. Then be sure and ask for that live demo that Eric told you about earlier. This is where we'll sit with you, show you exactly what we're going to show your prospective doctors, and let you ask all the questions you want about our software. Since ours doesn't come on a CD like some companies do, we can't send you a demo of it, but we can give you a demo of it, and we're willing to take the time to do that and answer all your questions.
You bet. And then lastly, review the purchase agreement or the funding instructions. And you can be doing that now while you think that you might be kind of going down that route. Now, the question that keeps coming up is, Patrick, how do I fund this business? We have talked about that on some other webinars where you can fund this through credit cards. You can fund it through some loans. It was asked earlier, can I get a small business loan from the SBA? Since we've got a little bit of time, we can talk about that real quickly. SBA loans are kind of difficult to get because what they're looking for are actual assets, physical assets, machinery, laptops, whatever, buildings, and everything that they can attach. Obviously, if you were to walk out on them, where can they recoup their money? So an SBA loan can be a little difficult. If you're going to go to a bank and ask for a loan, do not, and I repeat, do not ask for a business loan because you will get sent to the guy over there in the corner. Go in there and just say you need a loan, a personal loan, or a personal line of credit. Ask for those types of loans. Don't go in there and asking for business loans or anything else, because instead of filling out 1 or 2 pieces of paper, you're going to be walking out with stacks, and now they're going to want tax returns, back since you were born. And it's the reason I know that is my son's a banker, and that's exactly what he told me. He says, Dad, if any of your people are looking to get in this business, tell them don't ask for a business loan.
Right.
We've got special people for those types of people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, folks, we have another webinar coming up next week that you can register for right now. Eric is going to drop that link that you see there in the bottom, the registration link, right into your question box or chat box. I forget where it shows up, but look for that. He's going to drop that in there right here as I tell you about next week. We're going to talk about why people fail in business and, of course, why our licensees succeed. So if you're interested in the failure rate of this business or any other business that's out there, we're going to go into detail about why people fail in business and how you can assure yourself and guarantee that you're going to succeed in this one. So be sure to register for that, even if you don't know for sure that you can attend it. We always record these, and of course you'll get the link to the recording by going ahead and signing up right now. So reserve your seat right this minute. Eric, there's one of the handouts over there that we're illustrating here on the screen. It's a series of slides, basically screenshots of our iClaim software. This is a walkthrough, step-by-step of the software. So, if you don't want to take time to watch a live demo yet or want to see a little bit more about it, there's one of the screenshots. And as you can see, we point to things and explain exactly how to go through that step-by-step. Then the other handout I mentioned earlier is why doctors should outsource their billing. That's written there by Dave Jakelo. Okay, Eric, I want to emphasize that our training starts whenever you're ready. If you signed up today, for example, and got your funds to us, we would schedule you for that training to start within the first 48 hours. Now, we are limited to the number of instructors that we have and the time slots that are available, but we build it around your schedule. So literally, we work with you one-on-one, going through each one of the sessions that are usually around an hour to an hour and a half apiece. And those are limited. So folks, if you're wanting to get started, believe me, this time of year, we really, really get busy. I think it's because it's, people are getting tax returns and refunds and all kinds of stuff happening here soon. So people are really lining up and booking these slots. So the sooner you get your due diligence done and decide that this is right for you and get your funding done, we'll get you booked for that. Just let your rep know and we'll get you right in there ASAP.
Excellent. You bet. Patrick, we're already up at the top of the hour. An hour has already gone past us. And so thank you for joining us this afternoon. I hope